the goal-oriented person is the guy that goes to Meijer. Spend forever looking at shampoos. I think in this world we need more people that are involving the rest of the world around them rather than just being involved with themselves. Walk with me. Let's talk about some stuff.
Hey, do you want to go in the car?
Okay, sit. Stay. There are so many people in the world in their mid-20s that are wrestling with their identities. They're wrestling with the things that they consider to be important to them or not important to them. They wrestle with the people they spend their time with. There's people that wrestle with every small little detail about themselves because they haven't spent enough time with themselves alone with no other distraction, no social media or anything, just sitting down with themselves and actually understanding, like, what is it that actually makes them them. I think some people think that a goal-oriented person is somebody who lacks the ability to have joy or that lacks the ability to go and do something without worrying about whether they're hitting their goals or not, whether they're hitting their benchmarks or not. That's true. When you're a goal-oriented person, you do abide by the things that you said you were going to go out and do. And if you're someone who's not goal-oriented, you're just somebody who just kind of goes with the flow. You, if you're that person, there's no expectation of what you actually want to accomplish or not accomplish. It's just something where life is just what you make of it in the moment. And I think both philosophies have their strengths and their weaknesses. Hazel, I will be back. I will come right back. We will be fine. I'll be back in like 6 or 7 minutes, okay? So it's gonna be okay. So let's use an analogy here and say that the goal-oriented person is the guy that goes to Meijer. It's a marketplace of goals, right? You know, you walk in and you're looking for something. You're looking to purchase something, right? And when you're in here, you can walk through the vegetable and fruit aisle, and maybe your goal is to eat healthier, eat better, eat cleaner food. Right, so I'm looking for some body wash, but something else has caught my eye. Some snack bags and some tinfoil. That would be an example of I went in with the goal of getting body wash, but in the moment, I did find something that I did also need, which was tinfoil and bags. Shampoo. But look at all this other stuff. You know, if I came in here without the goal, I could spend forever looking at shampoos. And like, honestly, after a while, that gets kind of boring, looking at things instead of actually just going and buying something.
At Meijer.
Well, let's hope that that very thin fur coat that Hazel has is able to protect her from the cold. Well, hi, my Pokey. Hi. What was the point of talking about goals when you're walking into Meijer, Connor? The goal of life in general is you want to accomplish a couple of things, right? Like, you don't want to just go and do nothing. I mean, like, the whole point of human existence in some capacity is to impact others. So, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and we kind of came up with this philosophy of, like, we are inherently social creatures. Far be it from us to have such self-interested goals that we can actually impact humanity in a positive way directly. I was coming up with a couple goals, for the year 2024. And I do this, every year, and I'm sure you do too, but most of those goals turn to shit, within a couple of weeks, and then you're like, oh, woe is me. The resolution aspect of your new year, your fresh, clean slate, is kind of getting in the way of your own happiness, your own joy. I think a lot of people make resolutions and goals and have aspirations that don't tie in the joy of life and pair it up with something that's worth accomplishing. Instead, they just go for like the thing that is most high and mighty to them. Like I wrote down, for instance, like I wanted to be a certain body weight at a certain body fat, and I went, that's a very specific, measurable goal. It's attainable in time within the span of 6 to 8 months. I kind of used the SMART framework to create that goal, but on the narrowed down chart of the goals that I was actually creating, I ended up wiping it off. Why did I wipe off a SMART goal? I remembered that no more than 2 or 3 years ago, I too was in the throes of doing Ironman training, and I was like, I want to hit this achievement, this goal with my body, and I want to look a certain way, I want to do certain things with that body, and it just got in the way of the joy of actually living life. We can be in our mid-20s and enjoy our lives, and we don't have to just do everything to achieve a certain level of perfection. To any circumstance, we're never perfect. Even bodybuilders will accept that there are things that are not perfect about their bodies either, but they try to achieve a level of perfection. Or you try to go to an Ironman specialist, like a 70.3 specialist, and they're like, well, I didn't do the bike very well, or I'm not a very good runner, I'm not a very good swimmer, or whatever it might be. Nobody is perfect. If we were perfect, we would all just be replaced with AI. But I wiped off this goal because I was saying to myself, hey, you've gone down this road before and you weren't happy when you were trying to achieve this goal, so why try to do it again? And it really dawned on me, well, how come I like making goals if I'm not going to enjoy the benefits of them? How come I would want to make a goal of being a certain body weight or a certain body fat, even though I know deep down that it's not going to make me any happier? It's not going to increase the quality of my life. So I wiped it off. And there are probably goals you've set for yourself in the same manner, where you said to yourself, I want to do this thing, and you've tried to do it before, and then when you tried to do it, it didn't make you happy. It was a habit that wasn't worth having in your life. So why did you keep it? Or why did you try to accomplish it again the next year? So, using the Meijer metaphor, if we keep going to Meijer and we keep buying the same things, but then we're still having a low quality of life. Let's say we keep buying the Frosted Flakes, and yet we keep on having mornings where we are crashing really hard in the morning, and you say, oh, I gotta increase my fitness, and I gotta increase my sleep, and I gotta do all this stuff, but nothing seems to have changed after a whole year of doing all those things, but you still eat the Frosted Flakes. So you go to Meijer and you say, you know what? I have a new goal when I go to Meijer, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna buy fresh breakfast food. And when you buy that, that piece of fruit, or you start making that morning shake, or you start having, a nice carbohydrate, something like an oatmeal, intrinsically, you begin to learn that all those things that you did around the problem, you realize the only problem was that one thing, that buying the Frosted Flakes. In the same way, I kept on trying to achieve certain goals with my body, but then I kept on still being unhappy, and I still couldn't go and hang out with friends or make time for loved ones and family. So was it my problem with my body? I wasn't achieving my goals with my body? No. It was that level of achievement with my body, in turn, I could not have enough time to actually spend with my family or with my friends. And therefore, I was not as happy. So, as we go into the season of change, and as we go into December, just remember that when making goals, don't try to make them perfect. Try to marry joy with achievement. What is something that you believe would be great to accomplish as you as a person? What do you think would be something that would benefit the world in a positive light, but would also make you happy, but would also help you feel more fulfilled? And not just saying, oh yeah, like I got as big as humanly possible. To what point? Why get so big if it doesn't impact anybody? If it's just, makes you happy, go for it. But I also know that those goals that I could achieve, say, a running race form, I could run a longer distance, but I could also involve other people in my life that want to also do that race. That to me is way more fulfilling than just going and doing something for yourself. I think in this world we need more people that are involving the rest of the world around them rather than just being involved with themselves.
Did you have a fun time in the car? Did you have a fun time?
In closing, think about the things that are most important to you when creating a goal. Don't just think about the outcome you want to achieve, but actually think about the quality of the life that you're trying to build. Try to think about the identity that you are trying to align with. Think about the people that you want to be around. Think about the things that you want to be doing, not only this year, but in many years to come. Think about the world that you want to create for yourself when making that goal. Instead of just thinking about what you're doing in the moment, think about why you're actually doing it. And if it doesn't align with what you morally believe to be a good quality life, then don't do it. Try something different. Do something against the grain of what culture says you should do. Do something that you feel is necessary for you as a being to identify yourself as an individual and as somebody who's creative, somebody who is powerful, somebody who is capable of achieving great things. That's it. That's the video.